Which Matt? Oh, that Matt. Hey, everybody. It's the Monday Not So Live show, and I'm here, and Dave's here, and Cheryl's here, and also Matt Kemp becoming a more frequent contributor to the program because he was at HYROX New York with me. HYROX New York, week 1. I do have some breaking news for you guys I just want to pass on that I just found out right before I hit record. HYROX cruise sales are still down, so the entire Elite 15 series will be on cruises and the World Championships in 2027. So cruises all day, 26-27 season. That's the breaking news. They got to get people on these boats.
So they had, I think the trend at the beginning of the year was like what's in and what's out for 2026. Remember, like New Year's resolutions? Cruises are in.
Whether you like it or not.
Out the majors, in cruises.
There you go.
Also, did we correct the record yet? Because I said they couldn't make them get on, but they actually can make them get on. Or did I already correct that last week?
You did not. You corrected it in our group chat.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, at least they're not making them get on the boat, but they're making them get on the boat. So it's even worse than I thought. And I had to ask my best friend, who knows everything, chat, can they make you do that? And they're like, well, there are rules around ports and manifests, but obviously if you had an emergency, you could get off the boat, right? Mm-hmm. However, they're a private company. They can do whatever they want. They can make up whatever rules they want. So have fun, people who only wanted to race doubles. Have fun, people who, are only racing doubles and have to get on in Mallorca and get off in London or whatever the fuck it is.
I still don't understand it. I'm guessing they have a minimum purchase and they had to fill a certain amount of rooms. And
right, but they could eat that cost, right? Like just eat it. You're making plenty of money. I agree with that idea. If you saw earlier, I was just talking to Kat about points, and we'll get to that. And I said, "Is your elite panel, is that good for anything? Can you guys complain?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's how they said they fixed the points that way. They fixed the money that way. There was not going to be elite doubles money. They asked for it, they got it, and it's not very much." And you know how you convinced me, Dave, that the whole thing isn't very much? Now I'm even more on board. It's $1,000 for 10 through 15th.
Yep. Doesn't cover
$500. Doesn't even cover your flight. Covers maybe a couple nights of your hotel. So come on, HYROX. You see me posting these outrageous numbers, right? It's not just that they're going to have 1 million people this season. Every time when you're seeing Amazfit and Surf, and these folks are at every single event, they are paying a pretty penny, right? Some are local, some are national, some are international, but I understand that we have costs. I understand it's not just this many ticket sales equals this much profit, but I think there's definitely a room to add some zeros to these prize winners. Yeah.
I think it's they want to keep. I'm guessing they want to keep the numbers consistent throughout the season for these events, but the cruise one does seem like one where maybe it's a little bit more obligation from the athletes to get there, right? I don't know. You can't, because you have to, because whenever I don't know, I've never done a cruise, but I know one of my personal training clients does them a lot. He's always he always flies in the day before to Florida. And then he's because if your flight gets delayed and you miss it, you're screwed, right? So you have to get there early. You have to plan a little bit more around it. I just think, I'm just very confused about the logistics of the actual race on a cruise ship itself.
Well, it'll be on the stern.
Okay. Doesn't help me.
Not
that. But it's just, I don't know. Where is I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the grid. And
anytime I see something, my first thought is with the 60 plus thing or whatever. It's let's try to look at their side. What problem are we solving for? Right. And there doesn't seem to be one for anything about the cruise other than you wanted to sell tickets to this thing that didn't work. But the solve for that is just you learned a valuable lesson and don't do it again. And that's called part of business.
Solve for that is wreck something else.
It could just be
right. That's exactly, Dave. That's the point. It's that's your solve, is to then fuck with this whole thing that's doing that we kind of really like for the most part. This part of sport that we're enjoying.
I think they just, I don't know. It's like I think, or it could just be like they want to have one elite race be like the spectacle, like New York is or Berlin is. Like they want to have one outdoor race that the elites actually do, I guess.
And that we won't even see live, by the
Well,
way.
yeah.
Because it's a time trial.
I'm picturing certain personalities at HQ who just are determined to make things happen. It just, Meg Jacoby on one of the posts put fetch isn't going to happen, right? Like they're just trying to make it happen.
Picture yourself on a boat on a river with warble dreams.
It's got to be a time travel.
Broad jump skies.
There's not enough room on that boat to make more than one person run, so they're going to have these weird little stations. And somebody has just decided they are doubling down. They just cannot give up on this idea that they've had. I feel like there's clearly somebody at HQ about the 60 plus stuff that they just dig in their heels. I don't know. It would be very interesting to be in HR at HYROX and know who these people are.
Yeah, they're not digging in their heels on the 60 plus stuff. It's constantly an accident. It's always an internal mistake.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. They didn't mean it to happen. That's why they keep going back on it, because it was an accident.
It just have no idea what's going on.
Well, sometimes I'm fortunate enough to stay in contact with people when they leave and I get answers to these things, sometimes years later. So maybe one day I'll know, or maybe there's some things that you never know or by the time they leave. But I got this amazing message from Haney to Will, and we already covered this a lot, but it was such a good message that I wanted to share it since we're going to talk about that 60 plus thing, and then we'll move on. HYROX is an unskilled sport that requires resilience and grit. There have been studies on what is old man and old woman strength, which has been proven to actually be a thing. It turns out that old man strength is just resilience. Think about it. You're up all night with the baby and still go to work. You pick up your drunk daughter from a party you didn't know she was at. You have doubts in your marriage, yet you persevere. This is what the 60 and over age group represents. Being fatigued during 100 wall balls is nothing compared to these situations. Friggin' HYROX pisses me off sometimes. Thanks for your amazing work. How great was that?
People were very happy.
But I'm just saying I hadn't heard it phrased that way. Like we joke about old man strength, and he's basically saying the whole point is that it is resilience. And so the least we can do is pull some pro weights. Not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. And that's HYROX HQ's problem is that these 60 plus have a lot of resilience. They are very persistent. They know what they're doing. And I don't really know why we've had for the past year this song and dance of them, retreating off of things that, new policies and so forth. But I think we need to put a period at the end of that sentence and move on and stop picking on the 60-year-olds. And maybe let's focus on the crews for a few months, right? Let's do something different.
Well, we are here to spread some joy and some good news, and that is HYROX New York. So I want to give my immediate thoughts, which was there 2 years ago. And I remember walking in after being in a long queue. That was one of the first times we saw that weird, organ, intestine shaped queue. And we went in and through, and I was like, this is amazing. And Dave goes, I fucking hate it. It's hot. This judging sucks. But I loved it. And I thought, this is a next level event. This is really cool. It's outside. It was nice weather. I walk in this year. Of course, we got the magical bridge, right? So there's no line.
Yeah.
And the kids say 10X. It felt 10X. And my first thought, honestly, was, I don't know why, maybe because I'm such a cynic and pessimist. My first thought was, well, this can't, Worlds can't even be this good because Worlds will be indoors. So Worlds will be nice, but this feels like a next level. So obviously big jump from 2 years ago. My question for you, Matt Kemp, how much was it a jump from last year?
Well, first I want to say, where do we rank the bridge in the best things to happen to HYROX the last 3 hours?
That's massive.
Right. It's been honestly great. I know it's simple.
And there's not even a line to get across the bridge.
Why did it take so long to get said bridge?
Yeah, I think it just wasn't
because we were calling for the bridge 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You were talking. I remember you were talking about F1 racing and stuff, right, Dave?
Oh yeah. But
no, well, I was just saying that the bridge is a couple of scaffolders in a couple hours, and they have one built in no time.
Right.
It's incredible. Does everything we needed to do. But I would say, so from 2 years ago, I think actually 2 years ago, if I remember, because you weren't there last year, Davis. I think 2 years ago, you were in New York. Like, we get halfway through the day. It was a 1-day event. Went from
it was only 1 day. It wasn't even 2.
Yeah, it was like 7 a.m. till like 11 p.m. Like because we did our relay at like 9 something p.m.
I remember our relay. Our first place,
like
40,
midnight,
40 plus men, all mats relay team. I remember that.
Yeah,
it was only 1 day. That's nuts.
Yeah, so it was 1 day, and I think you said at the time, you're like, HYROX is in the U.S. Like, it's here. It's made it to the U.S. You're like, and it's crazy because that was 1 day, probably.
I think it was like 5,000 people.
Yeah, I'll go look.
And now it's like, we're just gonna do 5,000 people for 10 straight days, or 10 out of 11 days. So the one thing I'll say is that actually, I don't think anything will ever match how crowded the first year felt, but that's a good thing. Because like the first year, it was just so crowded, you couldn't get to where you wanted to get fast enough. This year, I'd say from 24 to 25, 24 packed, crowded. It was the first time we saw like the corral thing that crossed the track, and we were just like, you just felt so massive. You had to wait 30 minutes to get in, whatever. Last year, definitely improved. Still had the corral part of it. It was a 2-day event last year, which made it more, or maybe it was 3. I think it was 2 day. And then this year now, 10 days, right? So the thing I would say this year that I think was much improved is like moving the check-in into the Javits Center.
Yes.
Made it so much nicer. Like not having that crowd, even though like when you were in the Javits Center, I mean, Javits Center is enormous, but even the space they had for check-in was probably the same as any check-in they have at any other race. It wasn't any, weren't any more desks set up or anything like that. But it was never full. It felt kind of empty in there, to be honest, even though they got through all the athletes through the day. Like I never heard anyone say they had a line at check-in for spectator or for their race. And then taking that out of the venue itself on the pier, like just opened up the pier so much. Like
because first year you had to like try not to get run over by city bikes in that little lane.
Yeah, people were like, leaking into
so now they had it on this floor like we do for every convention center, but instead of then going from there into the arena, you just left. So again, it probably cost them who knows how much to have both those things open. But what a difference. And then you just kind of walked around the block. Yeah. And it was super, super duper easy.
But I would say, as far as like, it felt more comfortable. Like I never felt crowded in the venue. Like the concession stands did some cute New York things. Like they had like a little subway style entrance type of thing. And like a little hot dog stand. But they also had like an actual concession stand that was like branded all HYROX and had like picnic tables around it. It just felt like this year was much more spectator friendly, and they kind of knew like, hey, if you're going to be here a while, like you got everything figured out, and you can kind of stay in that spectator area and not be like crammed over, which is interesting because I'm sure people are saying, well, I wanted a spectator ticket and they didn't sell them, but it's like they did a pretty good job of crowd control. I don't think it ever was too crowded. It was crowded enough. It seems like most people who wanted to get in eventually got in. I didn't really hear any people say like I didn't get a spectator ticket and I couldn't steal a wristband or find a way to get in there after the day when I wanted to. So for the most part, I think it looks like it's been worked out, and the weather was perfect. I mean, it's been great so far. I'm hoping to stay. It's supposed to be hot next weekend. When we were, Davis, we might be sweating a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. But so far, I have nothing but good things to say, and it's just been, I think it was just really well organized this year. Really much more thought into just that, and also I have a huge shout out, something that I've definitely mentioned before. Obviously, people at HYROX smarter than me have thought about for a long time. The sleds and maybe I think it's the sleds, maybe the burpees too, are on like a 6-inch platform that they made a wooden platform, put the carpet on there, put the sled on top of that, so that it's consistent sleds. I will say the push definitely felt a little bit heavier. I would say like maybe 5-10% heavier. I was saying it definitely felt a little bit more like sticky, a little bit tougher, potentially because of that surface. But everyone kind of had that similar feedback of like, yeah, it was a little tougher, but like no one was saying they couldn't move it, and no one was saying it was sliding like it was last year, like when it rained and just flew across the ground.
But you also have to be careful because I like stepped down off the platform once and almost fell.
Yeah, you need to be
in the spectator area.
Yeah. Yes, there's some spectator areas that have the platform built into it too. Like I think the shop.
So is that what they're always going to do? It's going to be raised up?
I don't know. I think they should just do that at every venue. I was like if they can, if they can put it all in this way, it's always the same surface. Like, and this way you don't have to worry about like, the other things that are underneath, at the venues, like the other plugs and whatever else that people sometimes they say. Like, I know one time when I was moving a sled, like you could feel or hear like the clinking of a metal, and like it's like one of those latches where you have outlets underneath, things like that can get caught on. The sled pull definitely felt a little easier, but that was because it's 6 lengths, so it's only an 8-meter rope as opposed to, I'm pretty sure that's why it felt easier. I don't think it was other than that, but overall, I think that was a huge improvement. That the sled pull, that was that was the biggest criticism.
What did you think about the 12-meter rope?
The what?
Did you like or didn't like the 12-meter rope?
This was 8-meter rope. You're saying?
Sorry, the 8-meter rope.
I mean, definitely easier to do 8-meter rope. Shorter rope is definitely much easier to pull. Definitely fit. I think my push was like 35 seconds slower, I think, from my last pro, and then my pull was like 45 seconds faster. And I was definitely focused on my pull a little bit more in my training, but even so, like it definitely just felt a little bit more manageable throughout the whole effort. So yeah, I was like, I think they really and they made the rock zone much more spectator friendly this year. So I think the first year it was pretty spectator friendly in the sense of like you could get to see at every station, but it was just too packed. Last year they had a kind of a similar layout to what they had this year. Actually, I guess a little bit different, but they didn't have enough like nooks and crannies where you can go like around the outside to get to the sled pole. Like at Davis, where we saw each other at the sled pole, like there's like pretty much only enough space for like 2 people deep, but it was one long line across like along the track and along where the sled pole was. But last year, you wanted to see sled pole, you had sled push in between you, so like you couldn't even see it. Or maybe I think it was vice versa, actually, whatever way it was. But like you basically had a whole station in between those two, and you couldn't get there. This year they made it kind of very nice in that they made everything like a little bit stacked in the stations. You look at the map, but you had little like nooks and crannies to go in.
I was able to get great footage of the pros in the morning. I thought it was like, oh, not that many people are here yet for the men's pro, but then the doubles was at night, and it was just as easy to get. I don't know how I forget when they normally do men's pro. Men's pro has been at night usually too, right?
It's usually Sunday nights, yeah.
But
it's Friday morning.
But it's going to be the same way next week. It's going to be
Friday morning,
same times, like 9 and 11 and 5 and 7 or whatever it is. So, that was great. Like, I mean, obviously, it's not Elite 15, so that makes the crowd a little bit less. But it was I definitely was able to get like really close and good footage of everything. Cheryl or Dave, did you see anything that you wanted to talk about or that you were curious about, or good or bad from your house?
How much did you pay attention to the races, Dave?
I did not get a chance to pay a lot of attention. I mean, I know who won. I know who the podium people were. It might be some.
Did you follow Hybrid Fitness Media? We posted the podium.
Yeah. That's where I saw it. That's where I saw the podiums. As I think it was pointed out by Jeff Fisher, probably the nicest male podium of all time.
Yes. We love them all.
Yeah. It was the nicest male podium of all time. So yeah, it looked good. I've heard the same ups and downs that I do from every other event, right? So you're still some people say sleds are inconsistent. Some people really did not like what you liked about having to walk to go to the registration and stuff like that.
I think if you're not like, I think I can maybe take that a little for granted because I'm in New York, where I know exactly where Javits Center entrances are. I know the doorway. Like, if you just get there and you go to the venue and you don't realize that, you're probably like, son of a bitch. This is like it's like an 8-minute walk.
Because I will say, you kind of have to go there first because then there's the water. It's not like you can be coming from the other side past the venue and then go. It's kind of on the way. So to me, that didn't seem like much more additional walking.
And the double whammy, I think I think it's just if you didn't. As we know, people don't read emails. So if you didn't read everything and realize, hey, if you did the race last year and you go, so you go to the venue and check in, like you're going to just take a cab to the venue, which you kind of can do. Because that caused mayhem last year. I think the first year was like crazy because everyone was trying to get like Ubers and Lyfts to pick them up there. And it was like, it's just back up the highway. It was, stupid. So like getting people to go to the convention center kind of actually kept the highway nice and clear. It's not really a highway. We call it a highway. It's just like a 3-lane street. But
the West Side Highway?
Yeah. You can go like 5 miles an hour faster than the normal speed limit. It's like the speed limit's 30 instead of 25. But yeah, it's like I think that that really alleviated kind of some of the foot traffic over there. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was like classic New York. Pretty pictures on the pier. To me, still not worth it.
Yeah, I think first of all, we have been trying to decide where to go for Christmas, and we're going to New York City for Christmas. Like, you can't go through a weekend like that and not be like, okay, definitely missing out. I love this city. Matt, you did a great job of capturing things, just even around Times Square or whatever, the street performers and so forth. And you just realize this is like the best city in the world. I love that place. And so that was really great. And I thought the elite races were great, and it was really fun. There's a second place. She shows up in the second wave and took out Kat Foster.
Gotta love it. Gotta love the new people.
Right? Like, she's this new girl. So yeah, we'll have to find out about her. So I'll say all of that, incredible. And Dave's right. The pictures are gorgeous. Having it on a pier is so unique and so fun. And yet there's part of me, I think, Matt Kemp, you were saying that it's really hard to get indoor space in New York, right? Like, you're sort of booked a number of months or years out, right? And so I don't know if this is their short-term plan and that they'll eventually be able to move to a venue that's a lot more predictable and a lot better for people. Mm-hmm. I was hearing three things from people. Number one, bloody knees from lunges. The lunge station was just brutal. It was really, really hard on people, right? And stuff like that. That's when you got to be glad to get those Dylan Scott knee pads, right? Everybody's just going to be wearing those around their ankles the rest of the day.
I've seen more knee pads than I have in the past, but I judged lunges yesterday, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's becoming a thing. You can't predict.
I can't believe it's taken you people this long to catch on.
Right, like, Dave, you've done it forever, and what's the matter with the rest of us? Like, we just need to figure this out, right? And not trust. Yeah, so definitely knee pads may be an issue. The water stations, apparently, somebody called it pool water. There was like a film over.
Yeah, Dave, Matt, can you speak to that? Because I didn't know this was an issue, and apparently people were saying the water was gross. It's from a hose, and it's gross. And people were like, "Yeah, I live here. I don't see anything wrong with it."
Yeah, I had no problems with it. I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about the film over it, because I grabbed water from cups, and I don't know. Maybe it's a.
Maybe you're a guy.
New York water has a pretty good reputation. I don't know. New York tap water has a pretty good reputation. But I did hear some people say, "Oh, I think I got sick from drinking the water or whatever." They had these two, like,
it ain't Mexico.
They had the thing is they had these two, like, in the warm-up area. They had these two, like, massive jugs that, like, I don't know, they're a size of, like, they're like 6 feet wide in diameter and just like 5 feet tall. You can get your water filled out of. So, like, who knows? Like, I don't know. Maybe if that thing wasn't cleaned, one of the wasn't clean with it, or had something cleaning product still in it. I don't know. But, like, overall, I didn't see, like, I heard a couple things of that. But I've also said, like, I heard one thing in a chat of people like, "Oh, I had like 2 people friends who got sick and whatnot." And the only similarity is that similar thing was that they were at the race. But I was like, I've done a few HYROX races where, like, even DC, I think I talked about it, was right after the DC race, like, I got really sick for like 6 hours and then I was fine. Like, sometimes, like, what we do to our body during a HYROX race is, like, pretty intense, and you basically shoot your immune system in the foot and you give yourself a chance to get pretty sick. And, like, you're jumping on the carpet. Like, I was then pretty fine the next day after that, like, that happened to me. So I'm curious how long these people had this. I also talked to a couple other people who've had similar experiences at other races where they did a race, even a HYROX or some other fitness race. And it's like, if you put your body to, like, the absolute limit, you can, your immune system and your central nervous system kind of just panics a little bit, and you might just get sick for a few hours. So
yeah, like everybody got sick after Phoenix. But I just wanted to pull this up because, honestly, it wasn't until I got home and I started going through this footage and I was like, well, look how gorgeous this is. Like, convention lighting is horrible. Every HYROX should be outside. Like, look how nice this is.
Every HYROX should not be outside.
I know.
No HYROX should be outside.
Correct.
But I'm saying, if you're doing stuff like this is so much prettier than convention lighting. I mean,
it's gorgeous. No, it is. Look at that. Look at that skyline.
Look at that.
No, it's absolutely incredible. And so, yeah, definitely an experience. Like, clearly, people are having a great time, and it would almost be a shame to throw this in a convention center now that they've got Pier 76 figured out.
They'll never do it. They'll never take this away.
I mean, I hope they do. I was saying, like, I sent that video in our chat. I was like, after leaving check-in at the Javits Center, I took a picture of that big empty room. I was like, oh, this would be a great place for a HYROX race. And kind of, like, half joking, because it would be. But I was like, I'm hoping New York has now proven itself. It's a 10-day event. Like, can we get a winter event in the Javits Center and then keep 76? That's my ideal scenario. And I'm hoping.
And I actually think that the film that people were talking about maybe on some of the water cups is just because it's outside, right? Like stuff's blowing across. It's on a river. I mean, stuff's going to happen, right? Yeah. And I don't think it's necessarily going to make you sick, but it, for people who are a little more squeamish, it may be tough.
And I would say, like, being outdoors, I felt made it a little like, sometimes I'm in the convention center and you walk in and you can just like feel everyone's been sweating and breathing.
Yeah.
Like being outdoors, like the first 3 or 4 runs, I had a nice breeze come and hit me off the water. I was like, oh, this is great. Like,
yeah, that would feel great.
Feeling that eventually, I don't know if either for my own health or because it got too hot, but yeah, like, I don't know, it was nice being out there. But I'm hoping that now that they did registration in the Javits Center, like they have a bit of an in on like, let us know if a weekend opens up in January,
right? And we because they'll have plenty of people.
Yeah, that first, I went back and looked. The first one day, it was only 4,000 people, like low 4,000, and then last year was 12. And then somehow, this event like had more per day than Berlin, because I was looking at it and I was like, which doesn't even seem possible, because the whole thing about getting a spectator pass is that it's not just that it's sold out; it's that you're on a little mini island. And so the first day I bought a ticket that morning. I walked in, big sign, don't ask for tickets, go online. I immediately go online, I buy one. Every other morning that wasn't possible. So I don't know what that was for that first day.
I think Thursday was also one of the, Thursday was one of the original days. I thought it was an add-on day. So yeah, it's still, okay. So then my point's moot. But I do think Thursday, Friday were easier than, like, I had so many people asking, every group chat I was in, asking for Sunday spectator. Like, women's doubles, that gets the biggest crowds, and it's just, those spectator tickets were, they could have been sold.
Well, I certainly wouldn't condone going through unofficial channels, but there are videos online that show you how to remove your festival pass.
Find out what color they're using that day.
No, it's not find out what color they're using, because they actually changed that. It's not just you have a bunch of colors. It said day 1, day 2.
Yeah, okay. It announces which day.
They're on.
But people would walk out and someone would say, "Can I use your festival pass?" And they'd say, "Well, how do I do it?" And then you can look online how to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
I had one more question.
Sure.
So I am seeing a lot of complaints about the run course itself. People complaining about 2 things in particular: the pillars, which made it tough, like it was really crowded out there, and then obviously there are people who don't know how to run in mass events, right? So that's an issue. But then the fact that, why does HYROX keep flipping the in and out so that you're going in when people have already come out? Like, it's this giant, the out is before the in, right? They did it again here in New York, and I don't know why they keep doing it.
Penalty.
My 2 minute, my first penalty.
Exactly, right? Like, it's a problem. So yeah, which Matt, I'm so sorry.
They're so very concerned about having exactly 8.7 kilometers.
So I will say that it actually measured up pretty well, I think, because I use GPS, and the one nice thing, that's the nice thing about being outdoors too, could use my GPS, and had someone that did like a little analysis of the map and said, like, okay, if this is technically, supposed to be a kilometer or 8 kilometers total of running, broke it down and said, like, it would be this many meters for the first run. The middle runs are probably like 950. The first run's probably like a 1050, and then the last runs are like 1180 or something like that. And I would say that actually matched up pretty well with what I think I was, with what my GPS said. The only thing so the run course, I thought was the in and out part. I think they partially do that because, like, makes it more, one, they want the distance, but I think it also creates a way.
Really, the distance thing?
Because I think it was like they were like 50 meters apart, right? It's not like, so if you do that every run, right? Like, that's, you got to make
it adds 50 meters to the course by doing it that way instead of letting you go in, and that would take off 50 meters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So then they'd have to move the tunnel or the wall ball entrance somehow elsewhere. So I think that's kind of how it ends up being. I think that's how New York's always been. It's always been like the in and out of, always been on that same side. The start tunnel has moved a little bit from that one side. And they moved wall balls inside the rock zone this year and moved the warm-up area outside, which actually was a great idea. because it kind of keeps that crowd outside the rock zone as well, which is great for spectators. It's like that's like just a huge crowding area of like family, friends, people trying to hang out. And then the pillar part, that's one thing I was like, I guess it's just not wide enough, I guess, to run just outside the pillars. So the fast lane is supposed to be inside the pillars, and then like the non-fast lane, the regular lane, is supposed to be outside the pillars. And they have signs everywhere. They have staff out there, kind of guiding you a little bit. But yeah, people aren't, because even I, at the times, like I'm trying to be right at that 4-minute mark, so I'm like right on it, and I'm like, so I usually run like on the line so I can get out of it if I need to. So I was like running on the left side, but like I would say I would definitely pass more people than passed me on the runs, and I was right around 4, and I was probably slower than 4 on most of my runs, to be honest. By the end of the day. So, but it's definitely like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how you're ever going to fix that, especially with that one, because it's such a it's like an 8 to 10 foot difference to go outside the pillar. Because like the pillar, it wasn't just a pillar. Every pillar had a planter, like a big concrete tree type thing, concrete planter with a tree in it.
Very pretty.
And yeah, it looks great. And and those things are usually in different areas of the pier, but they moved them there to kind of like, they had nowhere else to put them, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
They had a bunch stacked up on the back end of the pier too. But yeah, so like, that's why like it's going to be hard to convince anyone who's competing with anyone else, or there's their own time, to say like, oh, I'm going to go run an extra, like basically running lap 4 of the track instead of lap 1 and 2, like for my laps. It's like, you're definitely adding time there. But that's also why, like, going back to, as much as my hometown thing, I would love to have an indoor race here that feels a little bit more true competitive.
Standard.
Yes, on the standards, yeah. Whereas this one's like still fun. You can be competitive yourself, but it's like doesn't always feel like it's going to be even. Like I think this weekend we had an even playing field. If people raced, open one day or raced against someone who was open another day, but like come next weekend, if it's 90 on Friday and then 75 on Sunday, it's just 2 different races. And if it's raining one of those days, it's not really.
Oh, speaking of 2 different races, let's talk about this. So typically, you get one set of awards, and those sets of awards determines who's going to World Champs. This weekend, you can win the award, but only get to go to World Champs if you win overall both weeks.
They did announce that from the start, though.
What's that?
They did announce that from the start.
No, I know, but again, what problem are we solving? If we understand that there's a premium on getting into World Champs, right? So there's only going to be 1 per race. However, you're basically punishing the biggest event there is. It's like you're punishing people for running a different week. That doesn't make any sense. You can't give 1 more spot away for each. I mean, what's the difference between that and whatever running at another race another weekend? To me, that makes no sense at all.
I agree.
Because I thought, well, certainly they can't make you come. Like they can't make you come back another weekend to get a flag, right? Of course. So it's like, okay, we'll give you the flag, but you don't get this. You don't get the spot. So again, what are they solving for? By punishing for having a large event, your reward for a 10-day event is you don't get the spot. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, the only logical explanation is the capacity at Worlds. I mean, that's the only logical explanation.
Right, but it's no different than any other. It's no different than you're at Anaheim this week for 4 days and then Atlanta for 4 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no difference.
Yeah. Right.
But it's like adding a whole nother race, and maybe they don't. I mean, that's why they tried to kick the 60-year-olds out of the stop, because they're already at capacity. So
look, it's clear they're having problems with
corners
capacity
where they can to get less people there.
Yeah, this year they're having problems with capacity for sure, and the policies need to change. There are too many races for them to be able to qualify people for Worlds in the current system that they have, and so that's going to have to change. But we have
I gave up my spot so that I could help the masses.
See, you're just being a good person.
Thank you.
And you don't want to come with us, Dave, and I don't even know what to think about that. But I feel like HYROX has fundamentally changed us in as much as we now don't even blink twice at raising at 8 p.m. You know, we race whenever they tell us to race, and we don't ask questions. We just do it. And when did that happen? I signed up for a DEKA fit last year where I signed up for the 7:30 a.m. wave, and I realized, what am I doing? I haven't raced at 7:30 in years. Like, who does that anymore? We're so used to it, right? And they've done the same thing with this award stuff, where we are far too accustomed to wait a week to find results, to wait 2 days to find results. When did we get okay with that, and why is that okay?
How about the gal who said, this event's outside?
They're going to need to change the policy. I firmly expect a change in policy come Stockholm.
Well,
I have a perfect solution, actually.
Doesn't the answer seem to be like next year we'll make worlds bigger?
Well, that's part of it. But I think weekend 1, you get a spot to Worlds. Weekend 2, you get a spot on the cruise. And so
you choose, which weekend you want to go to.
But yeah, I do agree. Like, my biggest frustration from like, look, I'm not qualifying for solo Worlds. Like, just it's getting too fast for me, and I would love to say I could, and you never know. But like,
hey, listen, here's the good news, Matt. In about 20 years, you'll be. How old will you be in 20 years?
I'll be 57.
Yeah, perfect. That's where me and Cheryl are at. That age group, you'll be in good shape.
But we'll see who I'm racing against then. I'll probably be the same.
Stay healthy.
But I lost my train of thought. Fuck. It threw me off, Matt.
Well, first of all, how are you that much younger than me?
I don't know. We're going to be in the 45, 49 age group.
I could have been your babysitter, as we learned last week, right, Cheryl?
Exactly. There's got to look. It could just be that could they split worlds so that there was a doubles championship and a singles championship? Could they do something?
It has to be 2 weeks next year, right? It has to be
like 1 week doubles, 1 week singles, or something.
Like whatever. It can't just be 4 to 5 days. It's got to be 7 or 8. Like it just
has
to
do.
And you make the center. The Elite 15 obviously is that first weekend, and it's the celebration of that. But for everything else, hey, we're giving you an age group championship. Be glad you have it. If it's on a fucking Tuesday, it's on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like they've got to spread it out.
Yeah, it's usually a destination enough where
like 3 age groups a day, right? Let's just throwing it out there, right? Like 18 to 24, 24 to 39, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that cheapen the prestige?
Yes.
That's the problem. I think they want.
Why?
It dilutes it.
If you allow so many people in, you're technically cheapening the prestige.
Right.
It's still 1% of the product.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we don't know, right?
No,
depending on how many
we assume.
Yeah, but you're assuming that they're doing 1% now. And if they're doing 1% now in 4 days, but then they got to fill 2 weeks, they're going to have to do more than 1%, unless they double their attendance.
Something's got to change,
guys. They're going to put on 150 events between now and the next one. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that's not an exaggeration. Like,
yes,
they did 100 this year. So
yeah. Well,
I don't think that cheapens it at all. You're still going to get the times are. It's not like, oh boy, I got a really slow time and now I'm in.
Yeah.
Unless you go to Jakarta.
Sometimes. Yeah. Like sometimes some of the newer markets.
Right. But most of the athletes aren't from the newer markets. Most of the athletes are.
I am expecting change. There has to be some sort of change. And I don't know what it is. And I'm hoping that it's not something that everybody complains about until they have to change it back again. Right.
Well, that's the biggest frustration I have for me is like that. I finally remember something I thought was that it's hard to find the world qualification spots now. Like it used to be, the start list is there. They had qualification spots. You clicked on it. It said every age group, and it was on the website before the weekend started.
Yep.
Now
they don't even bother now.
You go to the web. You get to the venue. It even used to be on the screen.
In Ottawa, we didn't know till we got there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even there. Like I didn't really look in New York, but I was like, I didn't remember seeing it.
I saw it once as I was walking by, and I meant to take a picture.
So yeah, like it's like that's my thing is like I wish that was just more easy to find. Even if it's like when they put the start list out, they know how many athletes are in each age group, and you get your time. I mean, think about things we've gotten used to, Cheryl. Getting your start time. I have people racing Wednesday. They got their start time today. You know, like right. They didn't get their start. Like some people on gym, like when do we get our start time? I was like, I guess you'll get it on Monday. I was like,
hope it's in the window that they told you it was going to be in.
Yeah.
Well, ours is in the window, right?
Yeah.
Well, you hope that they don't then give you a start time that's outside.
I'm asking Matt.
Yeah. We're at 6:40ish. I think our window is like 5 to 8 or whatever.
Okay, so not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, look at that.
I'm racing 8:30.
What we're used to.
That's a wild Saturday night for me.
That's really late.
Yeah. but yeah, like, but that's the one thing that I wish was more transparent this year. And like, I do think I agree. Like, they have to change something. I'm curious what it's going to look like for next year. I mean, I think it's going to be. I think honestly, like I think I've said this on the show before. Like, I ideally think they would do like a staged system, like what Spartan used to do. Like, hey, here's a North American champs. Make it mean something. Like right now, these
maybe that's what they'll do. Maybe that's what they'll do
Yeah.
since we've lost the regionals. Maybe that's what
like,
they'll do.
Like next year, like DC Spring or whatever it is, like you have to qualify to get there, and that's like a prestigious event as well.
And I hope people complain about that, because I'll say you can suck it, because if you want to consider yourself an athlete, I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
It's what it is. Yeah.
Right. It's like, otherwise you're just like being a fucking podium getter.
And honestly, I think it'd be better. I think it'll be better for the podium people, because they can then say like, hey, you can finish top 5 at an event and qualify for your regional.
Right. Because it's either that, it would either be that, or say it is time-based and there'll be a top 100 leaderboard that rolls all year, and we won't put out invitations until 2 months before, like DEKA.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think they want to do that much work. Speaking of which, I want to roll right into the next.
I have one more question about this, though.
Go ahead.
It's kind of related, but I want to know what you guys think, because I've been going back and forth all weekend. The fact that there is a mixed doubles race on any given day, right? Women's pro doubles can be on 2 or 3 days. And, women's pro on, a number of days. Is that good or bad for an event? Like in one city over one weekend, to have the same race on different days? Or do you think that it's better for competition and just for the spirit of it all to have like mixed doubles all on one day, and that's just the day you race it? What do you think? I'm going back and forth on this.
I think, especially for an outdoor event, all on one day. I think in general, all on one day.
Well, again, let's think about it. What problem are they solving about where the weights have to go, what we're judging, right? Why would you not put all the women on one day? Because you still haven't filled that day and you still have to put something at the end? Or what problem are we solving?
If it's to serve the customers, in as much as somebody may not want to race on Friday, they would rather race on Saturday, and so they can pick their day to race. Like it's more sort of generalized just for people who want to race.
But again, if we think they don't care, why wouldn't they just say, you want to race singles? It's Friday. You want to race doubles? It's Sunday.
Yeah, well, because they give you a time anyway. So I don't know. It feels like another thing that we've gotten used to that maybe we shouldn't be so used to.
Yeah, I'm an all on one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they might do that eventually. Like, I think that would be the move next. Like, right? Like you have a 4-day weekend. It's women's solo one day, men's solo the next day, doubles, mixed doubles.
You don't need the whole days for the solos, but you
would have men's open, women's pro on one day, right? You could do things like that. You could do men's open, women's pro, mixed doubles one day, because that's all the same weights. So you could have it according to the weight stacks that you've got. And so then you've got one wall ball there, right?
The one other thing I'm thinking is, like, I'm kind of curious how much I think it would help, like the people that like run multiple races, like they do, a solo and a mixed doubles in the same weekend, right? Like now, sometimes you got people who are doing multiple in a day, right? And like for their competitive aspect, they would probably want separate days. But yeah, I think from the competitive side of it, like I think it started as a customer service thing. Like, hey, we want to have availability for people to do others, but like the demand is so high now that they don't need to, they don't need to, right? Like, I mean, I like for Boston, I signed up for Thursday with a refund because I was like, I got the pre-sale and the Friday was sold out. And then I went on Friday the next time when they actually opened up, and I got a Friday ticket. And I was like, okay, great, I can move to Friday. And then I refunded my Thursday. But like,
I did the same thing in Salt Lake.
It's like
Can you move your camera down a shad there, Cheryl, so we can see your head more? When I added the logos.
Well, I had my head, and then
when I added the logos, it was.
All right, I'm working on it.
All right, so
we can't see Dave's body at all, but you're worried about my head.
Well, yeah, people want to see your face. So we are going to move on to the women's pro singles, and this used to happen all the time. The second wave would ruin my beautiful podium photo, and this time, as I looked on first of all, the fucking live tracker wasn't working, which is super annoying. Live tracker wasn't working, which means high result isn't working. Also, not high result. Whatchamacallit? What's the app we use to track?
RoxFit.
RoxFit. RoxFit doesn't actually have a leaderboard. It has a times. So it's good for following a person, but it starts mixing in the next round of where they are. So why can't they just get a leaderboard? Do you know what I'm talking about? You don't use it much? If you wanted to look at the top 10 and they'd started the second wave, whoever had done a sled faster would now be in second place. See what I'm saying? It just doesn't it's not great for that. Anyway,
when someone comes in to ski real hard and gets out of there, they end up jumping the first.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it, by the end, it's fine because everybody's done. Anyhow, Willow Collins shows up as faster than Kat Fossbender, and I'm like, okay, is this right? Is this an error? I go to her account. She's a young, fast runner. Okay, she looks legit. That's fine. I messaged her, hey, do you have a pro license? She says, hey, what's a pro license? So Kat wrote the elites at HYROX.com and said, hey, do I get her points? Because she
doesn't have a pro license. Yeah.
She's a pro license. And they said, nope. Nobody gets the points. No soup for you. You get the third place points.
Yep.
So once again, I ask, if the point of the license is so you can be in this pool of athletes that gets the points, if you don't do that, we're not stopping you from racing pro. You can still race pro. But if you can't get the points, why not just give the points to the pool of people that care about the points? Dave, agree or disagree?
Oh, I think that I think definitely the people who do not have the license, if they are doing the system with the points, should not apply. And if they don't apply for the good side, they should. It just needs to be across the board. If they don't apply for one way, they shouldn't apply for the other way. If they're not entitled to the points, then the points should filter down. Then they're not really part of the race for the points.
I asked my favorite question of the day. What problem are we solving by having those points go to no one?
We're not.
Everything's made up and the points don't matter, right? That's just like whose line is it?
Because I try to see it from their side. I'm like, okay, why are they not doing this? Other than it requires a little bit of work, right?
There's that, and it comes down to an opinion. Some people are of the opinion that, well, if you didn't take second, you don't deserve second points, no matter who took second. So it's just
why would we ever do roll downs ever for the rest of all the shit we do roll downs for? Then
it's just a philosophy. Well, some people don't like the roll downs either, right? Like it's just a philosophy.
But on the one hand, they're doing roll downs, and on the other hand, they aren't.
We're in a sport built on roll downs.
Yeah,
that is like its entire purpose is built on roll downs. And again, I don't agree with it. Okay, good. I really do try to see both sides. And again, it's like, so why would you not do that? Like, again, it's all about, ghost points and this pool of racers and the people that have spent the money. And it's like, so if you didn't spend the money because you didn't know, or you're morally opposed, or you just don't give a shit, cool. We're not worried about you.
Yeah.
So here's who the points go to of the people that have the license.
Yeah. Like you're in a different race, right? Like you have a license, you're in a race with these people. If you don't have a license, you're in a race with these people, right? Like, and I do think, like, my opinion would be that Willow goes, I don't know I think it should be, hey, the first time you get in there, if you want to now buy your license this weekend, you get 3 days or 5 days. Like, you earned points. Do you want to pay this $600 fee?
I think I would agree with that too.
And like, that's a way for them to make more money and get athletes in right away. Now she's got to, finish second place, like against top athletes, right? Like, it's not like she's going to be someone to be reckoned with. Like, why make her now wait to get in again, right? Like, she just proved herself, right? So like, I wish they gave that, and then I'd say, even if she chooses not to do an athlete license and doesn't care, the points don't go away, because like she has the ability to take them, right? They're her points.
You give it 48 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then it's like, if she doesn't claim them, then, or she doesn't want to have the license, then fine. But then I think you can't roll them. But if you're never going to give her the points anyway, then she's not even in the conversation. Like, and Kat should get those second place points then. If that's the way they want to do it.
And by the way, there is a race next weekend, so it might go down even further. That's just true. So people are clear.
Yeah.
And again, okay. So then, how do we feel about this? Next week's races will count against the points, right? And you cannot race twice in the same week, right? Like if there's men's pro on multiple days, you only get one shot at it. But once again, these are 2 separate weeks. So should Dylan be allowed to go back and race again and get another 105 points if he wants it?
Yeah, I think this has become an interesting question because I think it was Dylan potentially looking to do 2 men's pro doubles races,
you can only do 1 though. That was specifically said when there's races that are over 10 days in the same city or whatever, you just can't do it. So should there be?
I think no. Right now, I mean, the demand is like so high. It's like give more athletes a chance to get in there.
You don't live in New York. Isn't it the same as traveling to wherever in Europe one week, going to name a European city and then going to another European city another week? If you don't live in New York, you're still traveling to get there, right?
I mean, I think they should make it 2 different. Yeah.
If the points count for the same race, then it's the same race and you can only run once in the same race. That's just to me that's the logic I take of it.
So, but why do that then? Why do that?
I think this is a weird one where they overlapped like the age group qualification idea with the Elite 15 qualification idea, right? Like for the Elite 15, why not make it 2 different race weekends, right? Like there's only so many people going for those points that have licenses, and like you said,
and here in America, we have a third of what they have in Europe.
Yes,
less than a third, I think.
Agreed with that. I understand it for the age group side where it's, hey, there's only one there's podiums both weekends, but there's only 1 world slot, and I get like you're tight on space. I still just don't agree with it because I feel like kind of getting screwed. But what are you gonna do? So I can kind of understand why they did it for the age group side. For the elite side, not exactly sure as why like it couldn't be 2 separate weekends. Like because even like at the age group side, like they're still doing 2 podiums, right? Like they're still doing a podium each weekend. So it's like most people are getting the flag, pretty happy with that. That's the goal. But then they're not doing and like they announced that roll down thing early on. They also just announced they actually, I don't know if this was announced initially, but I think this was added on recently. Someone shared with me over the weekend, was that if you have already qualified for Worlds this year and you finish first in your age group at New York, you can't defer it to next year because you're already qualified. So
Correct.
Which I did not see that originally. I did not know that. So like if you went saying like, hey, I'm already qualified for Worlds, I want to go to New York, I think it's a good spot for me to qualify. You can't, if you're already qualified for Worlds this year, you can't say, oh, I already qualified, I'm going to defer to next year.
Yeah,
but if you're not qualified,
it counts or it doesn't.
Right. Which is weird to me. I kind of understand it, and I'm not sure what my take is on it just yet, to be honest. I understand it, but I think the communication to that was a little late, or maybe I just didn't see it. I don't know. I didn't think that was originally included. Maybe I missed it. So if they did, then I'll take the fault on that. But I just that was an interesting portion to it also, which makes me curious about like how much are they changing the qualification system next year.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So a lot of interesting little takes, but yeah, going back to the elite side,
well,
I think they made it 2 weeks.
I don't know why they just don't run all the pros in one day.
That's quick side note. I'm looking at the current HYROX Elite ranking. Last update May 27, and in the Elite 15 men, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the doubles, there are looks like 4. Women's singles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doubles, those are all ties that need strength of field to determine. And it's going to get way worse next year when all of basically you win every race, you're going to have 5, you're going to have the same amount of points. And this whole thing about strength of field, the big argument last year was like, oh, but it's never going to happen. That was what they said. Mathematically, it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's already like half the field is ties.
Yeah. Well, how many races are being calculated into that so far?
5 for singles, 3 for doubles. Once everybody
with 5 wins.
People with 5 wins will all have the same amount of points. And then except for the top 5 or 6, which will all be Elite 15s, who've won at least one major / Elite
here's and I haven't looked at this, Matt, so this is a legitimate question. The tie, where does it take place? Is the 15th place included in the tie?
Hang on, let me look. The tie goes to the runner, I think. Hang on.
Not the rule.
What's the rule, Matt? What's the rule?
The rule is someone is safe or someone is out. Something happened first.
There's no ties.
You got to call them out. Got to call them safe.
There's no ties in baseball. No crying.
In
no
my
ties.
neighborhood,
Schoolyard rule.
In my neighborhood, the tie goes to the runner.
Yeah.
Sounds nice. Well, we can't tell, but you see what's happening here. These guys both have 520, Gabe and Pelayo.
Yeah.
Pelayo. So
but none of that will matter unless it involves the 15th place.
Except, yes, it does, because by these 3 ties happening, 3 people that aren't in, right?
Yeah, but those 3 people would all be in.
Yeah, these guys would be in regardless. It's just a matter if they're third or fourth.
Yeah, so it only matters if they're tied for 15th.
You went too far.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Nobody, there isn't one for 15th. So I guess that's what he meant. It only matters if it's down here, which it might for the singles.
I do think eventually it may get there. I mean, you can have all these like top.
We're down here in the 12th. We're down here in the 12th for the elite women.
Mm-hmm. But again, doesn't matter unless it's 15. But it could very much hit 15.
And then what, Dave? What should happen?
Well, then you're kicking your ghost points and your strength of field ones for your tiebreaker.
But I think it's also less likely to happen the further you get down, right? Like,
yes,
those people that are in that.
I think there's a bunch of men who are going to go win 5 races. There's a ton of men that go win 5 races in their region,
especially after all the majors count for points.
Yeah.
Right, like your top 5 people are going to have all their majors count for points, and then the other people will come after. It's still very possible to have a tie down around the 15th spot, but that's the only, like I said, it's the only spot that it matters.
All right. Did anyone hear about DEKA this weekend? I literally forgot it was happening.
I was there.
I said to Bubbles, hey, who's racing for you guys this weekend? And he sent me a bunch of names. And I was like, what about you? He's like, I'm in Denver. And I'm like, oh, I forgot Denver was happening. We didn't think you were there, Dave.
Yeah, I was there.
You told us?
Quick flight in, quick flight in. I don't know. Maybe.
Cheryl and I were like, I don't think Dave's there.
No, we didn't think you were there.
No, I went in Friday morning and was back home Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
So it was quick in and out.
All right. Did you enjoy it?
Which is the only reason I went.
Was it a one-day event? Was it just one day on Saturday?
Just one day event. That's the reason I went, was I didn't have to book any time off work.
Okay.
So it was just easy to get down there, get it done, get back.
Was it well attended? Was it a good event?
It was very busy. It was very busy.
Good.
For a one-day event, it probably was the busiest one-day event I've seen them have.
It definitely, it's 1,200, a little over 1,200, so it's definitely the busiest one-day event.
Yeah, yeah. So it was packed.
Because Anaheim was 2 days.
Yeah, yeah. So great atmosphere, like a lot going on. The good side, like I said, atmosphere was good. The place was packed. We stayed on time. So
what?
Yep, stayed on time.
How did that happen? Tell me
that one, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting everybody out. But
were there just enough judges? Like, what's the difference that you were able to stay on time in Denver?
That was the deal, right? There's just a dangerous lack of volunteers, tragic lack of volunteers. And then that was the deal. Was a lot of judges doing a lot of double duty and stuff like that. So it was pretty rough. That was the big downside. Was there were a lot of people who ended up counting their own reps, and it was like I said, that part was very disappointing.
So the start didn't depend on how the judging was going in the field. They went with time.
Yeah, you got one or the other, and that's the one they went with.
Okay.
Right. So it was, to me, that was very bothersome to me. But on a lot of the other side of the events was great. The elite races were good. Had no issues with really anything in the elite races that I'm aware of. Judges were good. Everything went well. Races went well. That was all fine. Stephanie Hillman won the women's race. Put a really good effort in. It was a good podium for Ultra with Jack Bauer, got second in the men's. And I think Jack looked as fit as I've seen him in a long time.
He turned around and did a Spartan the next day. Yeah. He's doing great.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, keeping in mind too, so I looked at some of the times, and obviously the times were a little bit off. I'm like, oh yeah, we're at elevation. I forgot. So definitely played.
Yeah, because Isaac Sanderson, who's quite speedy, he was like a 31 or a 32.
Yeah, 31, yeah. And Jack was high 32s, and I thought the fitness Jack was in. I thought, man, he's PRing today, and just the way he ran And maybe that's because he's used to elevation too, right? But the way he ran, he was not holding back. Like I see Jack before.
If you live there, it doesn't count. He should be going faster.
Yeah, that was good. It was good race. It was good fun. But the big issue was a tragic lack of volunteers.
Okay, I have a question about this.
Yep.
I just had a thought. One of the first Spartan race that I ever was in podium contention for, I ended up getting off the podium because they didn't like my burpees after my disastrous spear throw, right? Like they had a little camera there and you cross the finish line and then there's some mysterious group of people in the tent watching your burpees, right? To see if you did them right. And they didn't like mine, right? I was doing basically Ryan Atkins burpees. I thought I was fine, but his burpees are garbage too. So, just I didn't do it right. Anyway, so I ended up not getting a podium spot. But the cameras are extremely useful for taking care of judging issues. Like if you have a tragic lack of judges and you're talking about people who are trying to get on the podium, would it behoove you to just film?
Well, would you get to watch them though? What volunteers are going to get to watch them?
Yeah, it would take a lot to do. But there is a system in place that does sort of help. So, for example, there are time stamps for each zone. If you get in and out of a zone in a ridiculous amount of time,
they can watch, right?
It flags it.
Okay.
And it technically can lead to a penalty. So, like if I'm not telling you the numbers exactly, but if you're in and out of the rower in a minute and 10 seconds, it's going to flag it.
Somebody's going to come looking.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm going to come looking. Right.
Right. So, well, and I guess that's what I'm asking is there a technological solution to this?
There are things to aid. There are things to aid with it, but reality not to fix it all.
Well, but again, Cheryl, where would you get the people to watch them? And so, by the way, Spartans stopped doing that years ago, but then they've recently brought it back.
Yeah, I was going to say they started again.
But all you need it for are for the people who are in podium contention. And so then you just have a group of people at the timing desk reviewing the tapes of those people to make sure that they've done the reps correctly.
So how do they then do their job for the rest of the day when they're watching the videos?
But what Cheryl's saying is you're only going to be watching like 3 people's videos in like a few stations.
Right, but the timing people are watching all day because there's like they're watching shit trigger go off. Like they don't have enough people. Spartan would have to hire a person, at least one person or a volunteer to do that job.
Well, I would say more than one.
Right. But fewer than having 20 people at every station to count.
Yes. Yeah. But it's one of these things that unfortunately, due to the construction of the event, the actual design of the event, it is so dependent on volunteer judges or paid judges, whatever. It's just so dependent on judges. Right.
Yeah.
And they just did not have it. And I think that is like, I mean, I'm, for those of you who say like, I throw shit at HYROX all the time, I'll throw shit at DEKA this time. This was an avoidable thing.
So we could, first of all, start paying elites so that we get a little more eyeballs on this sport, because the fact that we didn't even know it was here, it didn't even occur to me how quickly a race can fall apart as far as come off the radar of the community.
I think the biggest reason for that is Jay's not there videoing it.
Right, but Robin wasn't even videoing at this time. Like we got zero footage of elites this time, and so we're just not getting.
Was Robin
anything.
not there this weekend?
No, Robin was not there this weekend.
Well, and so nobody else.
And again, Robin does a great job, but again, how hard is it to have any staff member, any volunteer point of follow?
I do know that they did have a staff member going around doing what Robin does. I'm not going to pretend to say they did it as well as Robin does it.
Oh, okay. She's saying she didn't see anything. Yeah, I mean, I usually see it too.
Usually there's a live feed. Yeah.
And well, even, I mean, what are we going to say? It's DEKA. What are we going to say?
Well, so look, fix the elite program, right? Start paying them, start getting it, back on track.
To my understanding, they have cut back, like they have cut down on that. They have cut a lot of chunks.
Yes.
From my understanding, from elites talking to me, they're not.
So like a year or two from now, hopefully that gets fixed. But then I do think there's an opportunity to sort of wipe the slate clean and come up with a new format that is similar, but is easier to judge.
Yep.
They could do that.
Yeah. It's not even gotten the point. Like I can teach people to judge it. I can teach them to go through it, but I need warm bodies.
I'll go to like the HYROX thing. Like,
I forgot to ask you about your judging experience, Matt.
So yeah, I was just about to talk about, like, so I did judge lunges yesterday. The judge thing came out in the head judges chat for North America, whatever. It's just too many people in there. But the links come out when different events are available. I saw, like, I was, this is a couple months ago now. I was like busy. I almost didn't get a shift to volunteer or judge because that's how many people were trying to volunteer and judge. So, like,
and the daft part about that is that you have a ton of experience and are good at it, and somebody who's just a fanboy is going to get that spot.
So, could be that too. But for the head judges, there's a little bit more, and they've actually added like an application process. So if you want to be a head judge, you have to fill out a form, explain if you're, HYROX coach, if you've done HYROX before, what stations you're comfortable with, things of that sort. If you volunteered before, XYZ. So they have added a lot more formality to it, which I think has definitely brought the standard up. And I would even say my volunteers yesterday were much better, or the non-head, they're calling assistant judges. No more volunteers, they're assistant judges. That's the name for them. They which I think is a great move because it just gives them people less chance to yell at them, I hope. People are still going to be assholes at times. But think about that difference, right? Like, they've created such a demand for the product that, hey, we said this years ago, like, oh, if you need more judges, like, the number one thing right now is you can't get a ticket, give them priority access. Okay, let's give them priority access. Oh, now everyone wants to judge, right? Or wants to volunteer. So, like, they've just created such a good system.
Yeah, I used to recognize all of the head judges, and I do not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how popular.
So many.
What's that?
You need so many now. Like, each station,
right? Like, I saw Tiffany, but not head judging. I saw her doing like something else.
Yeah, she's like a director now, so she oversees the head judges, and like she'll jump in here and there, but she's not in the weeds like she used to be. She's in what Yusef's position used to be.
Right. But I saw like a lot of the folks that I like and usually see, but like also some newer people who seem to be doing a fine job. I just like it's nuts. It's almost the opposite of DEKA.
And right. The crazy thing with HYROX now too is like obviously they still need people who want to do it and whatnot. Like, I still advocate for more people to do it, but you can't work 2 shifts in a day. They've limited how many shifts you can actually take because, like, it's a 10-day event.
Not if you're Jake Snow. They keep Jake for like a week straight.
John Cross did 16 hours.
So, like, you can't do 2 shifts in a day because they don't want you out there for 16 hours anymore. Like, they made that like.
I was going to say, John did do that in Ottawa.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Canada, but yeah, like, I mean,
none of your wussy rules.
Exactly, you Canadians, you know how to do it.
But shot of maple syrup and wine us up, we're ready to go.
If I had to keep judging for another 8 hours, by the end of the day, I would have been, just how many conversations and arguments can you have and not be fried. But what a difference in what that system makes. And that's like part of the problem is DEKA is kind of, once you start losing that trust and that demand, now you kind of lose the leverage to get volunteers. And so they really need to, I really hope they figure it out because we need more hybrid races, right? Like,
it's a simple problem to fix. It is one of the few problems that you can throw money at and fix.
Yeah. Yes. Well, even at that, so Steve Kaufman, he's a friend of mine through RMR, and he had a comment about the athlete judge program, which they have tried to make work at DEKA for years, right? And he says this: I've done many and always volunteer for an hour as an athlete judge. At the appointed time, I go to the volunteer desk. Sometimes no one is there. If there is, I ask where he or she wants me to go. And usually they say, oh, just see where they need help, right? Like, there's never any kind of structure to sort of send you in a place, right? So he says he'll find a station and then it's not a good experience and he can't help but wonder if he's really needed, right? And that's usually, it's like, well, I don't know, go find somewhere. Like, you don't feel welcome, right? He says, when I volunteer well in advance of the event, wouldn't it be great to get an email, right? Steve, we appreciate you volunteering to judge at 1:00 on Saturday. Like, make it sound like you actually give a crap that they even signed up, right? And anyway, you're assigned to station 9. Show up at this time. We're happy to have you. Like, they could do little tiny things like that to really just elevate the experience a little bit and help us feel like if we're signing up, it actually means anything.
And there's a system in place to do that. and not enough manpower to implement that system.
It's always a staffing issue with them, isn't it?
100%.
It's just consistent. That is the answer every single
money.
time.
Money is the every problem they have.
Yeah.
And you guys and HYROX like does throw some money out. Like head judges get paid and like volunteer judges don't. But like they have a more tiered system where I think DEKA is just like there's a main race director or two and everyone else is a volunteer. Where if they added maybe that middle tier, even if there was one like you had say they had 5 head judges, right? Like someone who's at burpees, one person who does station 1 and 2. 3, like with the way it's set up at DEKA, like you could have a head judge at multiple stations at one time, which could help with the elites and so on too, because they can kind of like trail them along and then take on the next group. But yeah, so, I don't know. That's
like I said, the elite judging, great. Just the rest of it, just not enough warm bodies. You give me enough warm bodies, and I'll give you great judging.
And give
Dave,
me
how many do you know how many races you're going to be at, Dave, for the rest of the season?
No, not off the top of my head.
So not all of them.
No, not all of them. No.
That's the thing. If you're not running around putting out the fires, nobody is.
Well, I don't know about that.
So here's what's coming up. Here's what's coming up. You got Chicago, July 10th.
No.
No, I'm just saying what events are happening.
Well, he's letting us know if he's going to be there.
Yes. So no.
Boston, July 24th.
Are you asking now?
Yeah,
I'm asking.
I want to know.
Likely, I'll be there. Yes.
Philly,
probably
August 8th. That's the race we went to, Matt.
Yeah, I know. It's still the same place. I think they moved it into the city last time.
Yeah, I can't tell you anything beyond Boston, to be honest, other than Toronto and Worlds, because I have to.
Okay, Raleigh in August, Florida September, New York September, and then there's other ones, and then there's others that aren't on sale yet. For example, Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. See, I wanted to do the Philly DEKA, but I'm not going to be able to. So,
well, speaking of events, Athex almost announced 3 cities, but instead announced 2
and a bit, 2.5,
2.5. One of which was not New York, which I thought New York was happening, and then I heard it might be a mini event like Miami. Now it's not on the board at all. And then I've also heard there is a host of events happening next year. But we did get an official announcement for what cities, Dave?
That would be for Miami, for Houston. What's that?
It is Miami.
Yeah, it is Miami. Yeah. Miami, Houston, and LA. Although I believe LA is your half.
LA is my TBD.
Yeah.
Is that are you saying that because they didn't give a date for that one? Is that what
Correct.
It is? Okay.
Correct. Which again, I thought we were going to get a TBD for New York, but we didn't get the TBD for New York. Yeah. Can I sort this? Can I sort this by find that event? Can I sort it by Americas?
I think it does. I know the results say country. I don't know about the upcoming events, if that one does by country or not.
I mean, I just did a post about this. I'll just pull up my own Instagram. You know what's a good place for information? Hybrid Fitness Media, your source for hybrid fitness racing.
Media.
I mean, you can sort by country and then go to United States.
In Athex?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
I'm on it. Oh, there Miami. We go. Country. There we go. Jesus. Country, United States. Okay. Miami, October 10th. Houston, October 17th. Something tells me those are HYROX states as well, right?
October 10th is Boston.
October 10th is HYROX Boston.
I think Nashville interferes with one too.
No, Nashville is
in December.
No, there is no race on the 17th currently. So you could do, if you do Houston, it's between Boston and Tampa. Okay. It's Toronto, Boston, nothing, then Tampa in October, and then Mexico City. Denver isn't until November. Dallas, November.
I've never been to Houston.
Cruise is the 21st of October.
Well, that's going to hurt them.
It is.
I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do a golf cruise. All right.
That's what's going to happen. They're gonna cancel every HYROX while the cruise is on, so that everybody has to go on the cruise instead of to the HYROX.
Exactly.
And
transfer your ticket.
The rumor is we are getting Atlanta again in the spring, which is what I thought would happen when we didn't get it this fall. Apparently, they were trying to get it in the fall and then couldn't, and so when they announced,
venues are tough to work with sometimes.
I mean, I was saying that
not really, Dave. I'm really tired of hearing that as an excuse. There are gazillions of events that happen. around the world in convention centers.
Yeah, but I think they're booked out way further than you think.
I know they are. That's why you get started early.
Well, yeah, but I wonder if that's. I think what HYROX did 2 years ago, like 2024-25 season, was like they think about how many events we got last minute, like 2 months in advance. Hey, here's an event. I think they were just on the waiting list of these convention centers, and the convention centers are probably like,
it's not this. It's not this hard. It really isn't this hard.
I still think HYROX.
How much money do I need to give you right now to book this date? Great, I'll give you that date. The way that works is you can even give the soft deposit, which is we'll call you right away when someone else comes along, right? And then you got it. Now it's no shit, take it or not take it. But that's not.
We need more race directors and crew. Like that's the other handicap.
The only thing with HYROX though is now they have to. HYROX is they have to actually add days, which if you don't have the hall open and then you got it, like that's a thing. But Athics and DEKA and whoever else don't give me an excuse about it's the problem with the event, with the venue.
No, I thought we were talking about HYROX though.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I was talking about Athics.
No, we were talking about HYROX Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That was yes. HYROX does it too, but more so now it's more of an issue with the multiple. But like we're gonna get like we got new cities this time, right? We got Tampa and Nashville, wherever else, Salt Lake. In spring we're gonna get I think a few more ones, and I think that's what Mo had kind of said to me. Like we'll kind of off and on it, right? Like you might not get Salt Lake next year, but you'll get Denver next year or whatever, right? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I agree. Like,
but
I
it's
think
poor organization is why you have an event and then don't like. There's no reason Athics shouldn't have a New York event. They've been talking about it for fucking 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty disappointed.
I don't want to go to New York, so I'm not disappointed.
It would be very good for them to be in New York, though. Look at the numbers. Like
it is a fitness. It is apparently a fitness mecca.
Well, there's just so many people.
Right? Well, and I'm just worried that because I thought we were going to get these announcements right after Miami, and so again, it's like trying to get people before they get to something else. And I get you can't pick a perfect weekend, but it's like, and now it's only October, so like they got to get it. They got to get ahead of things here. Yeah. Come on.
It's frustrating as an average athlete who's just looking for an event, right? Like I just want
take my money. Cheryl says, "Take my money."
And, don't even get me started on Wes Robertson acting like he's not doing another LT games. I don't know what's happening with that, but people are like, is there going to be another LT? Like, I don't know anything. And then people are asking me about Athics. And I'm like, I don't know. And then they throw us these 2 dates. That's it. Right.
2.5.
That's frustrating.
couple of crumbs.
It's tough. It's tough.
It really is.
We just want to race.
America wants to do fitness racing.
We do. And look, for some of us, like, listen, I showed you, Matt, like this is my virus HYROX shirt. This is old. Like I've been around a long time doing HYROX. It'd be very fun to just mix it up, right? Get some new things in here.
Well, apparently more to come from Deadly.
That's your first, that was a virus shirt that they had the first New York event?
This wasn't the first New York event. This was one of the ones at the Secaucus. The first event was 2019. I think they were Puma at that time.
Yeah. Okay.
I just said Deadly. I meant whatever I just said. I did want to ask Dave about Xenom, which have changed some of their events. Did we talk about this yet, Dave?
No,
they already lowered the weights.
Officially, yeah, they changing stuff. A little late, I guess. I don't know. At least I don't know if they listened or if they listened to sales.
When's the first event?
I know it's in Dallas. I can't remember the date off the top of my head. It's not far away.
Isn't it this month?
It could be.
I thought it was like June 25th.
25 days. 25 days in Dallas.
25 days.
June 27th, 28th.
It currently costs more to do Xenom than it does the CrossFit Games.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So 10 events over Dallas, 2 days. 10 events over 2 days.
London as well. Dallas and London are the two events they've announced.
Right, but London is vastly cheaper.
London is cheaper. So, Dave, did you see what changed on the events? I got an article.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head the exact changes. I waited forever them to just announce what Zone 6 was.
Zone 7, you mean?
No, it was 6. 6 forever. They didn't announce.
I thought it was 7. What did they announce it to be?
I don't even remember anymore. It's
become one of those.
It's become one of those.
Sorry, go ahead. I was
one of
how
those
much a spectator ticket is, but
Dave, what's it become?
Sorry.
Is he frozen on us?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, go. What's it become?
All right, we'll go to the first one. Just go run through them. Oh, it's your biggest changes. Okay. Go back.
Rope climb was dropped from 14 to 10.
That's just a jump.
Yes.
Barbell cycling loads were reduced substantially. Original version 70-48, this time 50-35. What do we think of that, Dave?
I think that that's smart. It was like 70 kg. Yeah, it's a lot for your average gym goer.
Okay, event 6. Original website version. Wow. Toes to bar, dual dumbbell hang snatches, bar muscle ups, max ring muscle ups, dual dumbbells. Switched to toes to rings.
It is much easier.
Alternating DB hang snatches,
pull-ups. That's again much easier.
Max chest to bar pull-ups, single dumbbell.
Yeah, so they scaled that whole thing.
And
I'm assuming
event 9, heavy clean ladder went from starting at 100/75 to starting at 60/35. Wait, hang on. Yeah, going all the way up to 140, max reps at 150.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have been able to do the first clean.
So, and also this one's way cheaper. America was
500.
And here it's 129 pounds for singles, 250 for pairs. So
sorry, what's that super early bird window? Later pricing increasing to 379 for pairs.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So a little too late for that first event, I think, right? Do you think people are going to go, ooh, now I'm going to sign up? Or again, it's like the training window's kind of closed and
I think that it was a little too little, too late. I think that far out that people have already made plans or have made plans not to make plans. And I think a lot of the CrossFit community is kind of like, even the ones that are for it, I see like are commenting, yeah, that's cool. That's great. You going? Well, no, but I think it's great. And
what percentage of the CrossFit community could even pull off these workouts?
Well, you got to remember too, I'm assuming, Matt, that's the the RX division, right? That's the higher division.
Oh, that's right.
I don't even know what the other divisions.
Yeah, they do have lower divisions. They have so I think they have an elite, then an RX, and then a compete division. So I would have to see all of the way they've scaled it. So I think definitely they've made it more accessible, but it is still CrossFit-esque, and most CrossFit, no, I shouldn't say most, a lot of CrossFit people cannot access competitive CrossFit. A lot of CrossFit people are just there doing, basic movements and stuff like that.
They're just doing the classes, right?
Yeah. Which is great, which is cool. But I just don't see this. And then, of course, we're talking about the issues that DEKA has getting bodies for judging and that HYROX has with judging. This is going to be a gong show. So they want to sell 2,000 tickets. My understanding is that Rogue has a 64-person wide giant rig for these zones. That means to get that many people through in a day and doing 5 different zones in a day that each take a certain amount of time, then rest in between, like you're going to need 100 to 2. I actually guess somewhere between 150 to 200 judges.
Spectator tickets are $25, by the way. Not too bad.
And then
29, I think.
Athletes compete 2 days, which means if I'm competing on the first day, I'm not going to want to judge later because I'm competing again the next day. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have less athlete judge buy-in.
Yeah, and they're clearly paying some appearance fees for a bunch of athletes.
And they put prize money out there too now. So they're doing everything they can to sell it.
But I've not heard a lot of these names, and I keep at least half a foot in.
Who you got?
Well, the ones you'd know, okay, the big ones. Is it Domit or Domit? I don't know how to say it. Abby.
Domit.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Gracie Walton, Emily Rolfe, your girl Carolyn Prevost.
Yeah.
And then here's people who I think are slightly less well. Dan Bailey, did he win the games like 10 years ago?
He won a while ago. I think he actually just qualified this year out of Australia just recently at the
Hannah Black, Maha Lalos, Bill Leahy, Jack Farlow. I've heard of Jack, but that's because he's
Emma Lawson's boyfriend.
Yes. Zane Healy, sounds like an 80s movie villain. Jake Douglas. And Riley Martin. So if you're a big CrossFit fan and you want to yell at me and go, you're an idiot, that's fine. I'm just saying that, like, usually if it's names, it's at least like if they're throwing a little weight around, it's like everybody that got invited to, the Fit Fest over in England, like I'd heard of all those people. So I guess they probably don't have near enough to get people that they want.
Well, again, they waited too long too, right?
Or they thought they were going to get those people on their own, like people from WFP maybe or whatever. So I can't wait to see it. I guess if they said they're going to stream it,
I think so. I have a lot of curiosity of it, and I'm sure it'll be fun to do. It's just price point's too high. Judging is going to be an issue, and accessibility was a big problem. Maybe they helped the accessibility.
What's a Rhino deadlift?
A Rhino deadlift is like, it's on a machine, so it's not like a regular barbell deadlift. So like you're hooked up to a contraption, so it's not like a standard. You just deadlift a barbell. It's a different kind of thing.
What would be the advantage of that?
Can you guys read this?
No. Oh, there we go. Individuals for load. Five rep max. 3 minutes. 5 rep max, 8 minutes for pairs.
Okay.
3 minutes for 5 rep max. That's fast.
You're
pretty much getting one, maybe 2 shots at that.
Yeah.
I will definitely watch it.
Yeah, like it'll be interesting, but I just think it's still going to be a bit an unfortunate miss.
Did you talk to Mitchell Hooper since our last episode, Dave?
All the time.
He
was here at the bonfire yesterday. We were having hot dogs. It was fantastic.
How that went for him. No. By the way, the world is so fickle. They are dunking on the enhanced games. Everyone was so lovely to post about it, and everyone's just dunking all over them about what a disappointment it was. So let's just say that we're clearly trailblazers. We were ahead of the curve of dunking on the enhanced games. Now everybody's doing it.
I've loved that everybody has pointed out that putting somebody in a suit is going to make them faster swimming. You know what I mean? Like just give them paddles and flippers.
Well, and that they definitely stopped the clock too early, right?
Oh, for sure.
I still have yet to watch that video, so I haven't seen
Okay, well, there's a few out there.
There's a few out there. I mean, it's pretty clear that there was an issue there, but it feels like, I mean, that's what I was going to say about Xenom is that it does seem like there are these big money people who are like, oh, we want to get into this fitness thing. And it's very similar to the enhanced games, as much as you have people with a lot of money who don't really know anything about how the world works here. And I worry that that's kind of what's happened with Xenom. It's like, well, let's just get this big venue.
Xenom's got some like the guy who designed it, he's a CrossFit guy. He also came from HYROX. So he's got some experience. I think that they have people with experience in CrossFit. I worry that.
But not in running events.
Yeah. And more like how to turn CrossFit into a mass participation.
Yeah.
I think what they're missing also is I think they kind of, this reminds me a little bit more of like Lifetime games, right? In the sense of like what it could do. But Lifetime games is like, hey, we're going to do 200 people a day, make it really like high,
really small, really tight.
Yeah, it reminds me more of like a movie on Lifetime starring Meredith Baxter Birney.
No. But what I'm thinking with Xenom is like, I think they don't have like Lifetime, at least one, they got more athletes in, it was a smaller event. Like Xenom doesn't have, like Lifetime can pull from a community of Lifetime, which is why I think the upside for them is much higher. Whereas this one, it's like you have to create your own new brand, and like you're trying to say, hey, we're limiting at 2,000 athletes, and it's like, do you even have any? Like, why list? Why list a cap when you're not selling out, right? Like,
I forgot what the prize thing was too already.
Yeah, Lifetime's a zero risk for them, right? They just open up their doors and take some sponsorship and throw some people through, and they don't have to make any money at it. That's not the point of it.
But that's what's hurting them. Like if they had someone who said like, "Hey, you've got to make money on this," it would actually be great because like it's a good event. It's it's pretty well run. Whatever. Like,
well, I just think they just thought this is CrossFit's answer to HYROX. What CrossFit needs to them, what CrossFit needs is
skill,
specific, measurable, skilled, whatever CrossFit is, and they will sign up just like they sign up for HYROX in the masses, not realizing that the reason people sign up for HYROX is that it is not complex and that it is for everybody, and it's that accessible. You can, and that it's extremely accessible, and it's not like some of these. Let's say that some of these smaller ones over in England, and I keep track of everybody. I've got everybody's numbers. I write stuff about it once in a while. Most of them aren't big enough that it matters. I see, we in America, certainly nobody cares. But guys, I'm going to read you the names of the events just for shits and giggles to show you how starving we are, right? And then this is a spreadsheet that my main man Brendan helps me keep track of. You ready? I'm going to read these. Some of these you've heard of: Athics, Trika, Hybrid Games, Gym Race, Level 7, Hybrid Northwest, Turf Games, Crucible, Wild Hybrid UK, Hybrid X, McTuff is the new one, Gauntlet UK, We Are Flat Out. Then there's Lifetime Games, Celt X, Forever Fit. Was that 15 events I just said?
I like the name Celt X. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm grabbing my kilt and I'm on my way.
Let's go, Dave.
So how many? Okay, but I have a question. How many are faux roxes?
Good question.
A bunch of them, but I take one. I would take a faux rox.
Oh, Celtex, 100% a faux rox.
Is it?
It's 7 by 8.
I would jump in one if they came to a major city like near me, and I could do a doubles.
The first picture is just the wristband, and it looks exactly.
What did I start saying? Oh, my point is that some of these smaller brands, like they can get there. Like they started like Deadly, right? Like Deadly is already in more countries than Deadly's off to a great start. But my point is that wherever Deadly's at, but because its basic concept was weights, plates, and dumbbells on a track, here's what we're going to do, right?
Accessible.
So it can get there. It can eventually grow. Whereas I don't see Xenom's path to greatness. They greatly overthought their own audience. They really thought CrossFit people were going to go crazy for this, and they didn't. So the only way to do it is to drastically change it.
They took everything that HYROX learned and that HYROX succeeded at and threw it away and said, well, that's not the event we want.
And then even goes as far as to say that was his talking point in the video, was like, when somebody passes me in a HYROX and I say, what's your max lift? And it's like, that's like, guess because we're CrossFit and we're better than you. Like that's kind
embrace me in my douchebaggery.
Right. But by the way, that's why people aren't doing it. That's why CrossFit is going like this and HYROX is going like this. Well, like keep leaning into your, it's like the Spartan on the Spartan side with Joe, right? Like Spartan is trying to like grow their other events, and Joe is like, I just love the death race. And it's like, okay, but that's a smaller and smaller number of people.
Yeah, they're trying to be contrarian, right? Like that's what it seems like they're trying to be, right? Contrarian to HYROX, and they want to prove everyone wrong that like we can grow. And it's like,
well, you can't.
Interesting strategy, right? Like
thousands and thousands and millions of girls wearing cute doubles outfits are not rushing to Xenom. They're just not.
Yeah. Sorry. No, good point. With all their friends gumming up the system, they could put it on a cruise.
It's a great way to tie
cruise.
Z Cruise.
Z Cruise.
Oh. All right. Do we cover everything this week?
Yeah, I think that's the way you finish this.
Z Cruise.
Z Cruise. Z Cruise.
I want to ask one last thing. I want to see Davis. I want to know how you're feeling about coming back to New York and our race.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
I'm definitely following this. This is my Sunday plan, is to just sit there and watch.
You want to see my stomach right now? Do you want to see how? So first of all,
are you carb loading, Matt? Is that what you're doing?
So first of all, I want to say that I didn't want to overwhelm my story with too much New York stuff for HFM. HFM is always a little about me, but not all about me. So I put a lot of my personal stories. But I'm the person that says, when I come to your town, right, don't take me to the touristy places. Take me to like your favorite restaurant. Like I'm not I'm probably not going to go to the Empire State Building, right? Like, let's do cool shit together. However,
We got the picture.
However, because the hotel was close to Times Square and I had to walk through it kind of every time I went anywhere, I kind of just dug it. And I did film a bunch of stuff and I really liked it. And there's tourists, and then like I like to watch people like almost get hustled a couple times. Like I'm walking, but I would stop down to look, and like the guy, like these very what's the word? Like unassuming, like they're not in a Big Elmo costume. They're very unassuming and like handing out bracelets. And so they would put the bracelet on the woman, and then monks basically. But then they're like, now give me money. And people are like, no, I don't want the fucking bracelet. Like, you know what I mean? So that was great. And then here's something that greatly disappointed me. Oh, no. I really like that song, New York. The big one by what's her name with Jay-Z on it.
Alicia Keys?
It's Alicia Keys. And now I fucking hate it because they played it in Times Square constantly. Every one of those pedicabs, every one of the selfie, there's a selfie thing. Yeah. And that song it's one of those that you can feel in your bones if you're in the right mood, right? Like her lyrics, his rapping, the tune, it like, you know, it builds. And now I fucking hate that song. So I'm really mad. But you walk in and, you know, Times Square in itself would be a place that people would take pictures. However, the world we live in, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, like I'm not shitting on it. Like Times Square is now set up for selfies for like that's what people are doing is there's different angles to get in front of certain buildings. And then those 360 machines, I mean, they almost got me. I almost took one. It looks pretty cool. What I didn't quite think made sense was like, I think the worst hustle. Oh, and guys, God bless these guys, these poor barkers that are trying to get people to go to comedy shows. Like, and those are like open micers that are trying to get people to sit. So like, that's the only time they get stage time is like, you like comedy? You want to see a comedy show?
Best way to go underage drinking 20 years ago. I don't know if it's still the way, but
was to go to a comedy club.
Yeah, buy a couple tickets. You get there, like, oh, I'm actually not 21.
But these guys have an iPad, and an expensive camera, and they would snap the picture of you and then quickly try to get you to buy it, which is like, hey, we all have a cell phone. I know it doesn't look as good as that, but that seems to be, I don't know how they're making money on that one. Because like I said, at least the 360 one where it goes around you, like that looks like a cool image. Where was I going with this? I lost my train. I ran out of steam.
I also wanted to know how you felt, one, just about New York, but then also about the race coming up. Like,
I'm supposed to get yeah. See, thank you for reminding me. The point was that I treated myself. I ate nice food, right?
You took a picture with all the tourists when the sun was going down between the buildings, the Manhattan
Henge. So I don't know how I first heard of Manhattan Henge. I think it was in my feed. But I was already going to meet my buddy Tom that I hadn't seen in 20 years. And I was like, I kind of would like to do this Manhattan Henge. And so we met. And I'm really glad I did. But there was one more thing I was going to say. Oh, so the first night I had, the fuck did I eat? Something I just really heavy, and I felt really fat. I was like, okay, don't do that again. Don't feel heavy and fat. But I did treat myself to some nice meals. So I am not in peak shape right now. I'm certainly not in the shape that I was when Cheryl and I last ran. However, we'll figure out whatever the pace that I want to run last time was, and we'll try for it.
Okay. Are we trying to beat Matt Punton? Is that our goal?
I think that's so what were your paces? Because that's the goal.
I don't remember our run paces. Our time was 1:13:24.
That's 10 minutes faster than my time. So that's not going to happen, right?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I think I'll try to run Cheryl and I's paces, which was what we decided, which was what, 9:30s? What did I run last time?
No. You were around 9.
9:10, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's the run pace we'll go for.
Gotcha.
More laps or less laps on this?
This is 2 laps or 2.05 laps.
So same. That's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
the laps are actually not bad. They're a little shorter. They're like 950 meters a run, like per run on 2 to 7.
Matt, you're pushing. Matt, you're going to be pushing open sleds. It's going to be so easy.
I'll be coming off pro doubles Saturday night. So, and my quads are still very sore. So we'll see how I feel by the weekend.
Well, I think I used to go from really good training block to nothing. Let myself go, barely doing anything, eating like shit. And now I've just gone to just not as training as hard. So I'm not beating myself up for it. And like, I'm okay with it. Whereas
you had more fun with it the last couple months. Like you did some fun events. You just did something.
Yeah. So, but like when I was already getting hurt because I would just do nothing and then I train a little bit and then do nothing. And so and especially I haven't done a lot of speed training. So, I mean, I want to go for whatever pace Cheryl and I ran at.
Okay.
Like that should be the goal. Cool. And then we'll talk about who does what. Like, you know, you're going to finish everything, obviously. That's the only chance we have, right?
We'll see. I think, we'll go for that. I can start and finish. I'll sandwich you.
You don't have to.
No, I'm fine with it. I think it'll work.
Have him start and finish.
What's that?
Have him start and finish. That's how we did it.
Did I start anything with you, Cheryl?
No. You got recovery every time.
Even the ski?
Even the ski.
Okay, fine. You start and finish.
You'll be glad. You'll be glad.
Gonna be a fun weekend. Going to a Broadway show, HYROX race.
You qualify. You can go to Worlds. Win there.
Right.
Get on the cruise.
Let's go quickly look. What age group are we, Matt? Let's see what time.
45, 49. I forget. I sent the screenshot to you. Let me take
that's a tall order.
That's a big group.
Those fellas are. And you're doing open like those guys are.
Oh yeah,
they'll be sub 60s.
Yeah. Well, an open won't qualify anyway, right?
We're 45, 49. It isn't open will qualify anyway. Yeah.
Cheryl, remember how I sent you a picture and I said, "Guess who this is?"
Yes.
And what did you say?
I said every guy who's ever run HYROX. He looked exactly like every dude.
Now, guess whose post this is? HYROX New York was not the race that I wanted. Whose post is that, Cheryl?
Every guy who finished.
It's got to be your friend. Every guy who's ever run HYROX.
Every guy who's ever run HYROX. Every guy or gal. I think I do want to say my last piece, and I know we kind of talk about this a lot, but it really is the like if you didn't PR, it wasn't good race, and we just got to get off it because that's all people were saying. The Deadly Dozen World Champs happened, and it was a very hot day, unseasonably hot in England, like hotter. It's like global whatever, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I didn't get the time that I wanted." It's like, guys, it's like just give me a fucking break. Like, do you think you're gonna PR in every 5K or every 10K?
It's gonna kill the sport if that's the mindset we continue to have.
Chill the fuck out, people.
People are gonna get hurt and overworked.
Yes.
And even for me, I haven't had a PR now in a year, a little over a year, I think was
because that's how fitness works.
And yeah,
it's called plateau. It's called the human whatever.
Yeah, it's I'm getting a little older, but also I also just think I had some injuries too. I had a shin splints for a while. I couldn't put in a full training block. I was a little more hopeful that this weekend I would do a little bit better than I did, but I wasn't also I didn't feel upset I didn't hit my PR. I kind of felt I felt pretty okay with the race. I was mostly just pissed about the 2-minute penalty about going out damn in. That was the thing that pissed me off the most. But other than that, I was it felt like an okay race, and I had more of an up and down than it's weird. I had some cramps that went away, which had never happened to me before. I took a little cramp with a sled push, and I was usually once that happens, I'm done.
Do you take a Morton's in the middle of the race?
No, I did goose. And then it was weird. I actually my quads were seizing up with the lunges, which happened to be one other pro race, and I was like, fuck, here we go again. And then by the time I finished lunges, it was gone, which was really weird. I was just keep going on. I kind of just went through it, and my lunchtime wasn't too bad. But I still kind of crashed a wall balls a little bit, but yeah, it was just I don't know. I think that's the thing though. I think you go into a race, and that's I think we've talked about this with I think it was Lauren Weeks said it's you have the puzzle and you don't have all the pieces all the time, right? You have this race where it's every race you're going to do something better, you're going to do something worse. You can drive yourself crazy about it every time, or you can just say hey, progress isn't linear, and how do you improve a little bit, right? I think that's because I've heard a lot of that too this week, and people oh, well, the sleds were a little tougher. I'm not sure I'm going to PR or whatever, and it's I think we're at the point that sports the first 3-4 times you do it, sure, you're probably going to PR just from learning how the race works those first couple times. After that,
coupled with you might get a slightly easier course.
Yeah, But after that, it's like, how many more times can we, like, how many times do the 15 guys PR, right? Like, not that often. So I don't know. But I'm looking forward to a PR for Matt Kemp and Matt Davis, because we've never done HYROX together. We're our first one.
Hey, and it's not too late. We are raising money for mental health awareness. It's not too late to donate. So I'll be sharing that again this week.
Good. It'll be fun to watch you guys.
All right. It'll be on the HYROX World live feed, I'm sure. All right. See you guys later.
Take care.